Who wants to ride a sled with stock graphics? Not us. Use SledSend 4 for 20% off a discount on Arctic FX graphics. They'll bring your vision to life with hundreds of designs and endless customization options. Your sled will stand out whether you're on the trail or in the backcountry. So hit the link in the description and customize your wrap and use SledSend 4 for 20% off at checkout. SledSend listeners, welcome back to the next episode of the SledSend podcast. Appreciate you guys tuning in. Still at Haydays, so disregard some of the background noise. Sleds going by,
something
side by sides
back there,
side by sides going by, craziness at Haydays. And as always, be sure to check out the links in the description. Bunch of discounts in there for you guys, so check those out. We've got Kobe and Jose,
hello.
Two of our athletes on for this one, and then special guest we've got Jeff with Sled WYO.
Yep.
Nice, dude.
Heck
yeah.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah, appreciate you jumping on, dude. I mean, we're pretty much Haydays neighbors, so
yeah,
it made sense to get you on.
Exactly.
Yeah, I love your guys' setup. This is freaking baller.
Not bad.
Not bad.
Yeah.
Thank you. We've been this is our third Haydays, and so each year we try to add a little bit more, but stuff gets expensive.
Oh yeah. To the moon, baby. To the moon.
Exactly.
Yeah, whatever it takes.
Yeah.
So, how long have you been coming to Haydays?
This is our second Haydays.
Okay, so last year was
the first. Yeah.
Nice.
Me too. Last year was my first as well, and then this is my second.
Yeah.
What was your overall reaction last year?
I just love it. I didn't think, because I'm very shy and introverted, so like having a lot of people, I get like overstimulated. So I was like kind of worried about an event, but I was like, these are my people. You know, you come here and you're
Speak
just
the same language.
Yeah,
Yep.
I can. Talking snowmobiles is one of the few times where I can actually get out of my comfort zone. So I love it, and I love the vibe. I love today. I love the weekend. It's awesome.
Good place to be.
Yeah,
good place to be.
Awesome to meet so many people. How did last year go for you with meeting people and getting your name out there? And
yeah, it was good. It was our first like public event that we've ever done. We're real small, creators, real small guide company. So it was nice talking to some of our clients that live out here, and there was a few people that have seen some of our videos. They're like, oh, that looks familiar. And then they would keep walking, and it was kind of nice just to see a couple of people recognize the brand a little bit.
Yep.
So it's cool.
Yeah, sure. Yeah. So let's talk about the brand. What is Sled WYO? Like, what all do you offer and do?
Yeah, so Sled WYO is something that I co-own currently, but I started it myself a couple years ago, and just a small little guide company in the Bighorn Mountains of Wyoming, and just take people out. I started out of my garage, and luckily I took on some business partners 2 years ago, and we've been able to grow a little bit. So yeah, it's kind of what we are, just a guide company and rental company.
Heck yeah.
And you have I don't remember what it's, Uncharted or something, but you're partnered with Skidoo.
Yeah.
Kind of. So I'm a Polaris guy.
Nothing wrong.
But so like Polaris Adventures, right?
Yep.
Skidoo has like their own version of that.
Yep. So we're part of Uncharted Society, which
Uncharted
is similar
Society.
to Polaris Adventures. So
Okay.
directly affiliated with them, and it's been awesome.
Where at in Wyoming?
Our shop is in Sheridan, Wyoming, but we operate out of the Bighorn Mountains.
Okay.
So north central Wyoming.
Where's that compared to Albany, wherever we were at?
They're in Laramie.
Yeah, so we're about
Okay.
4.5 hours
Okay.
north of you guys. You guys are by Colorado. We're by Montana.
10-4.
Yep, opposite side of the state, pretty much. Yeah.
Nice. So how big of a fleet of sleds?
We've got a pretty modest, small fleet of 10 sleds. So
Okay.
yeah, we're getting going here. But
Do you get a lot of guys that rent sleds versus bring their own, or?
we do. Yeah. So the first year we had quite a few people come out. I think we're in the same boat as everyone last year for the northern part of the country. We didn't have a good snow year, so last year it was tough. But
Throw away.
yeah, it's basically we were just trying to stay afloat. We did what we could with the snow we were given. Like, we couldn't even ride until I don't know, probably the third week of January. We got like 18 inches of snow finally on top of the 15 we had. So it was a rough year, but
Yeah.
looking forward to this year.
Yeah, hopefully.
Exactly.
Hopefully it's so much better.
Yeah.
So what's like your personal history? Like, how'd you get introduced to to riding sleds?
Yeah, so I am like 4th generation sledder. My great grandpa bought sleds back in the day when they, started coming out, and they were trying to mod them to go in the mountains, because when snowmobiles were first made, they were kind of built for like getting around the farm or the flatlands. So there's people out west trying to make them better to go in the mountains, putting long tracks on them. So my grandpa got a couple sleds, my great grandpa, and then my grandpa got super into it. He was snow checking sleds, and then of course my dad got hooked, and then ever since, there's pictures of me when I'm a few months old on a sled. So just naturally, just what I wanted to do.
Yeah.
Heck yeah.
So is that what kind of drove you to starting Sled WYO?
Yeah. So in high school, I wanted to start a business. Didn't necessarily know what I wanted to do. I wanted to sell T-shirts. That's the only thing I could really think of. So I started a company called Sled 307, and 307 ended up being trademarked, and found out I couldn't really use it, which is fine. I was I was 16 years old. So I sold my little 4-wheeler for $900 to go buy T-shirts, and tried selling T-shirts. And I was like, well, I got to figure out a way to promote this brand. So I was like, trying to do iPhone videos and making little edits. And little did I know, I was actually super interested in filmmaking and just marketing.
One thing led to the next.
Yeah, kind of grew from there. Yeah, and then, just guiding was one of those things where it was like, I was trying to get my name out there in the industry. I'm not out there throwing massive flips, doing crazy stuff to be, like an athlete. So I was like, okay, maybe I can guide though. You can still be someone in the industry. And I thought guiding was a good avenue. So I just started guiding for a lodge in the Bighorns, and then went to college. And when I came back, I was like, well, I'm kind of entrepreneurial. I want to start my own thing. And then here we are, Sled WYO. So.
Nice.
Boom, boom.
So with Sled WYO, what is in that business? What is the most challenging aspect of it for you?
Snow. Having snow, at least last year. Just dealing with weather, I think, is one of the biggest challenges. I always hear the stories about how good the Bighorns were in the 90s, and we haven't had 2 years ago was a good snow year. That was awesome, but it just seems it's been a little inconsistent. And now I say inconsistent. We had this debate last year with a lot of people. Compared to Minnesota and the Midwest, Bighorns are awesome. I just want to put that out there for the record. Other mountain ranges, it's a little hairy, I guess. It gets, the Snowies had a great snow year last year compared to what we did. Yeah. So I want people, when I say bad snow year, I'm talking 5 feet of snow.
Yeah.
Midwesterners, you would love 5 feet of snow.
Yeah.
So take that with a grain of salt. But that, for me, as someone who also wants to push myself on a sled, we need a lot of snow. We need more than 4 feet of snow to kind of do what we want to do. So I just feel like that's kind of been a challenge. Yeah.
Gotcha. And on the flip side of that, what's been the most rewarding for you?
So the most rewarding thing to me is when you bring clients out, maybe it's their first time in the mountains, and I can live vicariously through them. So, for us in the industry, we've seen a million re-entries, right? It's easy to take it for granted, like, oh, it's another re-entry video. But when you do it to someone that's never been to the mountains, they've only seen them online, it's a simple maneuver, but they see it in person, and for whatever reason, they're like, that's really cool.
They light up.
They light up, and not even just re-entries, but just mountain riding. They get to see you navigate mountain terrain.
To them, it's unbelievable.
Yeah, and it's cool. It's a way for me to relive the first time I did a re-entry in a way, And the re-entry is just an example. There's all sorts of different types of riding you can do, but just showing clients what you can do in the mountains, because this is what I preach all the time as a guide. It's like, not everyone wants to hire a guide, and that's totally okay. Mm-hmm. But if you want the best mountain riding experience, and you want to go with locals who we ride 5 days a week in the mountains, like, we're going to know what to do with the terrain that's in front of us. Yeah. Otherwise, they'll just try to ride like they do here at home in the mountains, which to me, I don't think that would be the greatest experience. You should go with mountain riders, mountain athletes, guides, whatever, and experience the mountains the correct way. So that's something we preach a lot. So that's my favorite part, is just showing clients how to mountain ride.
Yeah.
Heck yeah.
Sure.
Hey, what's up, guys? We're here at Haydays, and I'm standing here with Dayton from Albany Lodge, and he's going to tell you a little bit about what they have to offer.
Hey guys, so we're a certified Polaris Adventures outfitter located in Albany, Wyoming. We have 13 cabins and 9 hotel rooms. We offer a fleet of sleds in the winter for rent, as well as in the summer of side-by-sides. If you guys are looking to do something a little bit different, we offer guiding, fishing guides, all of the above. At the end of the day, get dirty, get tired, stop in the bar and grab a drink, get bites to eat, have a good time.
Heck yeah, and be sure to use SledSend 4 for 15% off the lodging and their entire rental fleet, whether you're here for the winter to ride sleds or in the summer for side-by-side.
Was that you thinking of something?
No, I was just soaking that all in. It was just kind of crazy. Just a few episodes ago, Caleb saying the same thing. Just seeing progression and people experiencing new things in their own light.
Yeah,
So.
absolutely.
That's. I mean, I have said that to you guys multiple times. There's nothing more rewarding than watching one of you guys, or your buddy, go out there and do the bow tie or the trick that they've wanted to do for the last, 3 seasons, and it's just like, well, it's within you. You got to go do it. I can imagine, client after client after client. They're all brand new.
It's got to be super
different
rewarding.
expressions.
Oh yeah, for sure. Like even just like teaching them how to get their sled on edge. It's so cool. Just watching them progress and then getting fired up because they can do it. So yeah, it's just I love the people. So it's my favorite part for sure.
Yeah. So I mean, as we're filming this episode probably won't come out until like November-ish, but as we're filming this, like, is all of your schedule open and everything right now, or put out there so that people can book and stuff?
Yeah,
right now?
so
Is it starting to fill up, or?
Yeah, so we're getting a couple calls. It seems like after Haydays it starts to really pick up. So we're starting to fill up a little bit, but we haven't announced like any of our clinic schedules or anything yet. We're because of last year, we're so hesitant to book things in like January. We will release a schedule here shortly.
Okay.
But yeah, last year we had everything planned out before Haydays, so we're just a little bit behind the ball. But our general schedule is open. Like if you like. Because we have clinics that are obviously set dates, like come out this time frame. But if like that doesn't always work for everyone because they have to work that weekend or whatever. But if you're the guy that can come out at the drop of a hat and you want to book something now, you can do that and go online and book it. So
nice, cool. Well, we'll add your website into the description so that listeners can check it out.
Yeah, heck yeah.
Sweet. Let's talk about some specific snowmobile stuff. We've been asking some interesting hot take kind of questions. So you ride a Skidoo,
yep,
obviously, right? What's your go-to sled this season gonna be?
I'm gonna be on an Expert this year. Normally I run a free ride. The reason why I'm going to the Expert is one for the upgraded shock package on the Expert. They got the KYB 36s. So I've always been a free ride guy solely for the shocks. But I also not a huge fan of the color of the free ride this year. I'm not a big yellow guy, so I'm also
me neither.
Yeah, so I'm also going.
I do not like yellow.
Yeah, with the it was a no-brainer. Updated shocks and the color. So going with an Expert.
Gotcha. So with that, talking about mods, what would you say is the most underrated mod?
Are we talking like engine performance mods, or are we talking about like
all the above?
What do you think is the most underrated mod across the board?
Well, so simple mod that you can do. Okay, so I'm asking what kind of mod there is. There's so many things you can do. Yeah. Like you can add more horsepower, different clutching. To me, I'm a big believer on the lower handlebars now. I used to be the guy that just ran the stock bars. I didn't have a preference. I put lower bars on, and now when I go back to a sled that has taller bars, I don't know how I did it. Like, it's a game changer to me. So that's the easiest thing you can do.
Yeah.
Performance mods, I don't know. We ran an Ibex Stage 2 kit last year on our 146 turbo free ride, and that thing, like, videos don't do it justice. Like, it was the easiest. You just plug it into, you obviously have to purchase the tune, but you just plug it into a computer, change the charge tube, put a different exhaust on, and you have 20 more horsepower, and that thing was an absolute
void warranty.
Yeah, void warranty.
We don't need
warranty. Yeah, void warranty. But if you have the means to do it,
yep,
it's awesome. Like, I can't tell you. Like, it's
Shay,
so cool.
the other athlete, he's got a boost, and he's got a SLP Stage 2, and he'll just sit there flat out run me on my. I just have a can on mine.
Yeah, I was a little hesitant on 20 horsepower tune. Like, what's it really gonna do? And then you got on that thing, and oh my gosh, arm pump
freaking rips.
Yeah, it was cool. I was like, and you just basically plug it into a computer. Yeah. So it's
you're like cheat.
Yeah, I was like, this is crazy. Yeah, there's some specific things you got to do. Obviously when you add more horsepower for the longevity of the engine. So definitely do some research. But yeah, it's cool.
So on the flip side of that, what do you think is the most overrated mod?
Oh, that's something I haven't really thought about a whole lot. Overrated mod. It's kind of a tough one. I don't know. Oh, okay. All right. Here's a hot take. Here's your hot take. Finger throttles. All right. Okay.
Oh, dude.
Here we go.
Boy. Oh, no.
All right.
My man. Let's hear it.
So we are a monster dealer I love the brand. Andrew Munster is an animal on a snowmobile. Dude's a beast. The company is great. Finger throttles, you either love them or you hate them. So I don't want to bash on finger throttles. They are true. When you go to buy one, do your research and test it out. But I think this is a hot take in the snowmobile community because we have a debate with our team all the time. Half my team runs a finger throttle. Some of us run thumb throttles.
What do you run?
I run a thumb throttle. I like the thumb throttle. I've tried. I've been super open-minded with the finger throttle. It's just not for me. I don't know. I prefer the finger throttle. And I think it's because I've been on a sled since I was 3. Well, I got my own sled when I was 3. Right, just so used to the thumb throttle.
Yeah,
never really had a problem.
I think that's
with it.
where I'm at too.
Yeah, and I think we can still sell Monster products and have an honest review about them. So this is what I tell people when they go to purchase a finger throttle from us. I'm like, test it out, give yourself an honest time to adjust. Because if you're not going to like it on the first day. That's just the truth. You're going to not like it. So give yourself 3 weeks with it, and then decide. Some people love it. Some people are like, I'll never go back to a thumb throttle. So there's your hot take.
He's one of them.
That's me. I'm one of the finger throttle guys.
Yeah.
Mostly because I was kind of forced into it. I was out riding one day, and it was the first time I had ever ridden with Shay, and he runs the thumb throttle. And I found a stump under the snow, and
he runs a finger throttle.
Or yeah, sorry, Shay runs the finger throttle.
Yeah.
And I found a stump under the snow, and it snapped my handlebars into me and jammed up. Like my hand was swollen. I couldn't do this anymore. So he ended up helping get my sled off the mountain, and I hopped on his. And even with my hand being all swollen and like not being able to move anything with that finger throttle, it was like, oh, dude, I'm still like I'm good, you know. And then that next year, I was like, man, that kind of felt comfortable. Just the ride out on the trail on his sled with the finger throttle, I was like, man, that felt kind of comfortable. So then I went and ordered one and put it on, and I feel so much more confident and more comfortable on my sled, being able to have a full grip on my bar and still be right there.
Yeah, and I think you can. I don't have no problem with that. Like, I think that's exactly what
both ways they're gonna argue back and forth.
It's one of those things that truly is a preference thing.
Yep.
You won't know if you like it unless you try it. Yep. Like I can listen to him say he loves it. You can listen to me say I'm not a fan of it. Yeah. That doesn't affect you at all. Like, go try it. If you're curious, go try it.
Yeah, just like we've talked about the bar setup type of deal, you know, and love having aftermarket bars. There's certain things that I hate about having aftermarket bars. Look at some of the pro riders. They love running aftermarket bars. Look at some of the, Dan Adams and Keith Curtis. They run stock Polaris bars all season, you know, so it's just like everybody's going to have their little special recipe or whatever.
Yeah, exactly.
It comes down to preference, really, too.
Yeah, absolutely.
Do you guys have any other hot take questions? I'm going to get back to some of the clinic stuff. But
Go for it.
Go ahead.
Okay. So this last season, obviously, given the crappy snow.
Hey, it's Robin Cook with Truck Boss Decks. Just wanted to show off our 8-foot Truck Boss. It's 100% aluminum, made in America. You never have to take it off in the summertime. A year-round use, dry and secure storage underneath.
Yeah, absolutely. And be sure to use SledSend 4 on the website for 5% off to upgrade your adventure with Truck Boss Decks.
What was like the worst day in a clinic for you this season? Like breakdowns or injuries, or what was like the worst?
Yeah, it's always an adventure. Bad day of snowmobiling is obviously better than a day at home. But I will say, like, it wasn't a clinic, but we did have we had a father and 2 sons come out, and they were such troopers. They were awesome. And we had the worst weather imaginable. So we had no snow, but a blizzard came in, and with like freezing rain and no visibility. It was fog. But they drove 18 hours to be there.
Oh, sugar.
And like, I told them, I gave them the option. They're like, do you want to ride? Or, this would be a really good day to not ride, stay home, and we went out for a few hours. We built a fire, and the fog never lifted. It was just fog. I have a funny video on my phone where I'm riding one-handed, and it looks like I'm not even moving because I'm navigating through. We have a couple zones.
I hate that.
We have a couple zones, kind of like the Libby Flats, and you guys are familiar with the Libby Flats and the Snowies, right? It's like, oh, you're not?
No, we're not from. We're from Eastern Oregon.
Oh, okay.
But we ride it with Albany Lodge.
Gotcha.
There,
okay.
So we were just trying to figure out. That's the only place in Wyoming we've ever ridden. So we were just trying to figure out location-wise.
Okay, gotcha. Yeah.
So except for when we come ride with you.
Yeah, there's a place. Yeah, come on out. There's a place in the Snowies they call Libby Flats. It's kind of notorious for being whiteout conditions all the time. Well, we have a place. We have a few places like that in the Bighorns. We just call it Antarctica because there's no trees
Heck
and it's
yeah.
flat and it's just the wind blows a million miles an hour. And we had to go to get to the trees. That's where we were headed to get out of the fog, headed towards the trees. But we had to go across Antarctica, and I got a funny video of me going across, and for like 5 minutes it looks like I'm not moving, but I am moving. And it's just, that was like that the whole day. And these poor kids, they're like a 14-year-old kid and 18-year-old kid. And
Probably scared.
yeah, a little bit. You know, I was trying my best to keep them in good spirits. But yeah, I'd say, you know, that was still a good day. They had a good time. It was an adventure we'll never forget. And that can happen in the mountains. It's just mountain weather, you know.
Yep.
So,
Part of snowmobiling.
yeah. And
I don't call it perfect riding.
Yeah.
I call it snowmobiling.
and that's the only downside as a guide, right? We don't get to choose the days we go out. Like, it's our job. We're going out today.
I've always like gave you guys that leeway in the back of my mind because I'm like, I used to be a hunting guide, and I'm like, hunting, it really don't matter. Bad weather, good weather, you can still go find animals, you know, like, doesn't matter. You're on the ground. Snowmobiling, that's way different. Like,
Yeah.
Bad weather could really make things suck in a hurry.
Yeah. But no, it was still fun. But yeah, that was probably the worst day. It was just weather.
Gotcha. And on the flip side, you got a story of the best day?
Yeah, the best day
It doesn't have to necessarily be with the clinic stuff. It could be a personal ride too. But
yeah.
the best day ever.
Yeah, the best day
Macmillan.
last year was when we did get that 20 inches of snow. We had clients from Virginia, and I was nervous going into that one because every year they do one sled trip. There's diehard sledders from Virginia, which is a weird place to be.
I didn't know that.
Right?
Yeah.
It's weird. They
Pretty
don't
cool,
snow,
though.
obviously- Yeah, they don't snowmobile there.
Good for them.
But that's just their thing. They do one snowmobile trip every year. And before they came out to the Bighorns, last year they went up to British Columbia with Carl Kuster. They've been with a bunch of other big guide names in the industry. So it's like, oh man, here we go. All right. Hopefully they don't think I'm
You're
a
like,
joke,
I got a
you know?
lot to prove.
Yeah, I was like, oh man, I hope they like the Bighorns. I hope they like me. And they timed it perfectly. 18 inches of fresh pow. And we have the driest snow on the planet. So 18 inches feels like 4 feet. And they were out of gas every day by noon, and I couldn't get those boys to stop. We were like 10 miles back there. I said, boys, you guys are out of gas. Like, save some fuel so we can get back.
Yeah.
And I ended up running out of gas.
Oh, really?
So I had to siphon some fuel to get back. But it was we got back in the dark, and it was just awesome. And, you know, it's
Heck
one of those
yeah.
days as a guide. You're like, yes. You know, you feel really good. You're like,
Champagne powder.
yeah. It's like, I found these boys good snow. They're happy.
Heck
Let's
yeah.
go. So that was the best day.
Got to be rewarding.
Yep.
Yeah.
Well, unfortunately, we're getting to the time frame. We're booked up back to back from now until 5. And I want to respect your time too. So to end our episodes, we always have the guest ask the listeners and viewers a question, and then we'll cut it for TikTok and Reels and whatever, and then they can voice their opinions and stuff. So is there something that you would like to ask the listeners and viewers? It could be about anything: sleds, guiding, destinations, like whatever.
Like, I'm
Backcountry
asking
snacks,
just any
like-
question. Yeah.
Yep.
Like, okay.
Something you want to know from the listeners and viewers and their opinions.
Oh man, yeah, I guess like something I would ask my clients, I guess, kind of deal. Or
It could be literally anything.
About whatever
Oh.
personal.
Some
doesn't
people
matter,
ask, like,
whatever.
what's your favorite food? I mean, that's
What's
just
your favorite food?
That's Jeff's favorite. Is what's your favorite backcountry snack? Like
Oh,
that's
a
his
good one.
go-to.
I had, I've learned some interesting stuff from clients about backcountry snacks.
Mhm.
But I don't know. I guess I'm always curious. I guess what's your favorite type of content to watch? Whether it's like, I don't know, like I don't know the best way to put that. I guess
put it like that.
yeah. What's your
What's your favorite kind of content?
What
to watch?
entertains you? What entertains you?
what entertains you in the snowmobile world? What do you like to watch?
Oh yeah, good questions.
Good.
Let us know
Yeah.
the answers below. So Jeff, thank you. I appreciate you jumping on the podcast. And you guys have any other final thoughts?
Sure,
or-
cool to meet you, Jeff. Appreciate it.
Yeah, thanks for having me, guys.
Yeah, of
Heck yeah.
Awesome.
Well, cool. We'll wrap this episode up. SledSend listeners, thank you guys for tuning in, and we'll catch you guys on the next one.